What's your fondest memories of doing something with your grandma and grandpa?
Fondest memories. I gotta say, the camping trips are the first thing that comes to mind. I used to love those. I used to love the fishing, the chasing the skunks out of the campsites, the playing with the electronic slot machines, Monopoly, the Garfunkels. You know, I loved all the board games. You know, Mima always had all the best board games that that I could always go to school and say I played this, played that. The camping trips, hands down, come to mind. The learning of mechanics. You know, I knew when you and Joe Derek were working on that '82 Eldorado that it was something that I wanted to do. That was that big brown Cadillac that he had that never ran right. But I knew then I wanted to get into that. And I remember the '93 F-150 was the one that you and I went through and through. And I had about $275 saved up. I spent every penny on that tune-up and the suspension and everything else because I wanted to learn that bad. That's one of my fondest memories. And I remember after we were done, I had an Elvis CD, and we went and took the truck for a cruise, and we listened to Elvis. That's a very fond
you've got a good memory.
I remember doing the spark plugs on the Malibu. I'm never going to forget that.
I remember that.
I remember Meemaw telling us to take it to the shade, and we said, no, we'll be done with this thing in 20 minutes.
I remember working on that.
Yeah, I remember that. But yeah, the camping trips, the staying here on during summers and stuff like that, it established a solid relationship with you all. I see these days that some people don't have that kind of relationship with their grandparents or even their parents for that matter, and I'm thankful for that. And those are my fondest memories. You know, it's just all the time that we did spend together, because we did spend a lot of time together, and I'm really glad that it went that way.
That's awesome, John Paul. That's awesome.
And then I will also say on the camping trips, you were always adventuresome, and you drove your brother crazy because he was afraid of his own shadow. And you would go to the end of the pier, I think, just to aggravate him, and he's screaming, "You're going to fall in, you're going to fall in."
And he'd run down there and grab you. Get away from the water, get away from the water. Watch that bird, watch it, he was all the time scared for you.
I could remember having some great times. I mean, anything from doing pull-ups on Papa's arms to fishing to wheelbarrow rides up in the thing. I can remember it all. I remember it like it was yesterday, and it's probably things that I'll never forget, and it's things that I'll be able to share for a very long time.
Yeah, God bless you.
Yeah,
I mean, that's awesome.
And our advice to you is always make memories for people, because that's what they treasure the most.
You can look back on it and talk as you're doing now, and that means a lot.
All right.
Yes, ma'am.